kunjabi hari. Jaya Rama Madhava kunjabi hari. Gopidana Ballabha Girivardhari. Gopidana Ballabha Girivardhari. Satsona Nandana Rajadana Ranjana. Satsona Nandana Rajadana Ranjana. Jamuna Chera Vanachari. Jamanatira Vanachari. Jaya Rama Madhava kunjabi hari. Jaya Rama Madhava kunjabi hari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chant, chant. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaura Brahmanande. Thank you very much. So I was very happy that I got to know tonight I'm speaking in one of the key verses of the whole Bhagavad-Gita, 6:30. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yo mam paśyati sarvatra sarvam mayi paśyati tasyāhaṁ na praṇaśyāmi satyamena praṇaśyati. Yo mam paśyati sarvatra sarvam mayi paśyati tasyāhaṁ na praṇaśyāmi satyamena praṇaśyati. Yo mam paśyati sarvatra sarvam mayi paśyati tasyāhaṁ na praṇaśyāmi satyamena praṇaśyati. Yo mam paśyati sarvatra sarvam mayi paśyati tasyāhaṁ na praṇaśyāmi satyamena praṇaśyati. Yo mam paśyati sarvatra sarvam mayi paśyati, tasyāhaṁ na praṇaśyāmi, satyamena praṇaśyati, yamam paśyati sarvatra, sarvam mayi paśyati, tasyāhaṁ na praṇaśyāmi, satyamena praṇaśyati, yamam paśyati sarvatra, sarvam mayi paśyati, tasyāhaṁ na praṇaśyāmi, satyamena praṇaśyati. Ladies, yamam paśyati sarvatra, sarvam mayi paśyati, tasyāhaṁ na praṇaśyāmi, satyamena praṇaśyati, yamam paśyati sarvatra, sarvam mayi paśyati, tasyāhaṁ na praṇaśyāmi, satyamena praṇaśyati. Whoever mam me paśyati sees sarvatra everywhere, sarvam everything, cha and mayi in me, paśyati sees, tasya for him, aham I, not praṇaśyāmi am lost, sa he, cha also, may to me, nor praṇaśyati is lost. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. Purport. A person in Krishna consciousness certainly sees Lord Kṛṣṇa everywhere, and he sees everything in Krishna. Such a person may appear to see all separate manifestations of the material nature, but in each and every instant he is conscious of Krishna, knowing that everything is a manifestation of Krishna's energy. Nothing can exist without Krishna, and Krishna is the Lord of everything. This is the basic principle of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the development of love of Krishna, a position transcendental even to material liberation. At this stage of Krishna consciousness, beyond self-realization, the devotee becomes one with Krishna in the sense that Krishna becomes everything to the devotee, and the devotee becomes full in loving Krishna. An intimate relationship between the Lord and the devotee then exists. In that stage, the living entity can never be annihilated, nor is the personality of Godhead ever out of the sight of the devotee. To merge in Krishna is spiritual annihilation. The devotee takes no such risk. It is stated in the Brahma-saṁhitā 5:38. Preman janacharita bhakti valokshanena santak sadaiva hridayeshu valokayanti yang shama shundaramachat yagunas parupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. I worship the primeval Lord Govinda, who is always seen by the devotee, whose eyes are anointed with the pulp of love. He is seen as eternal form of Shama Sundar, situated within the heart of the devotee. At this stage, Lord Kṛṣṇa never disappears from the sight of the devotee, nor does the devotee ever lose sight of the Lord. In the case of a yogi who sees the Lord as Paramatma within the heart, the same applies. Such a yogi turns into a pure devotee and cannot bear to live for a moment without seeing the Lord within himself. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Prachadine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi paśyati Deshatarine. What a wonderful, wonderful verse. We face so many ups and downs as in the material world. Sometimes honor, sometimes dishonor, sometimes peacefulness, sometimes anxiety. So many dualities we're facing. But this describes a person who is situated beyond the dualities. Wouldn't that be nice? Be situated beyond the dualities. It's really tough, you know. We're bouncing like on a rough ocean. You know, up and down. The waves are tossing. The waves are tossing this way and that way. Sometimes it's pleasing. Sometimes it's really, really disturbing. Like, oh, wow. But here describes a person who's equipoised because he's seeing Krishna in everything and everything in Krishna. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? To see everything in Krishna and Krishna in everything. At every minute, how is that possible to see Krishna in everything and everything in Krishna? Well, does Krishna love us or does he hate us? Krishna loves us, doesn't he? Yeah. And is Krishna in control of everything? Yes. Everything is happening under the energy of Krishna. The good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, the pain, the pleasure. Everything is going on here because we're misidentifying with the material body and with the false ego. All of these things are going on. We're experiencing the dualities because we're misidentifying with the gross body and the subtle body. You see? All the anxiety and the torment and the torture we go through psychologically and physically, it's all due simply to misidentification. Therefore, we have to come back to that simple little formula, aham brahmasmi. You see? When you come to that position, there's no more anxiety, you see. Because we misidentified with the gross and subtle bodies. There's so much ups and downs, pain and pleasure, happiness and distress, peacefulness, agitation, so much misidentification. Why? Because we're forgetting Krishna. That's the big problem we have. We're forgetting Krishna. Isn't it a fact? Are we sleeping or awake? You see? Wake up. Hare Krishna. The trouble is we're in the sleep of forgetfulness. We're forgetting Krishna. That's why there's anxiety. We're simply due to forgetfulness of Krishna. If we always remember Krishna, there's no problem, you see. In other words, every problem we have is due to one simply cause of forgetting Krishna. So, what is the solution for getting Krishna? We have to be Krishna conscious. And there's a special organization to help us be Krishna conscious. What is that called? The International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Somebody said, why don't you call it God consciousness? That's more universal. Prabhupada said, no, Krishna consciousness, you see. If you say God, we think, well, it's Kali or Durga, or whatever. Prabhupada make it very clear. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If it's sometimes discussed, well, you've got to turn the Christians into Hindus or the Muslims into... No, this is not a program of changing from one religion to the other. This is the science of God, which is universally applicable. You see. Just like Jesus Christ brought me to Krishna consciousness. I'm a Christian, Hare Krishna, you see. So it doesn't matter whether you're from a Hindu background, an atheist, an agnostic, a yogi, whatever you may be, if you realize that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you're on the liberated platform. So let's go a little deeper into this amazing, amazing purport by our beloved Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON. Person in Krishna consciousness sees Krishna everywhere. Wow. Seeing Krishna everywhere? That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Can you imagine seeing Krishna right now? Prabhupada told me, just become qualified now to see Krishna face to face. Can you imagine how it'd be nice to see Krishna? To actually see Krishna. Like he was actually here 5,000 years ago, right? Wasn't he having pastimes right in this place? Do you think he's not here now? You think he left? What do you think? He's no longer here? No, Krishna is actually still here having his pastimes right now in this very holy place. His Leela is going on right now. He didn't leave. He appeared he went to Dwarka, right? But actually didn't leave. Of course, Radharani was praying for him to come back, you see. She said, what is that sloka? Apuryamanna chalat pratishtam samruddha vapa. No, it's a different verse, you see. Priyasayang Krishna sarvachariko rakshacha militas tasyāhaṁ saradhatariram ubayo sangamo sukham tadanya dekelam madarimula bhapanchurse manovadandikana vipanayas priyayati. She was telling her gopi girlfriend, my dear gopi girlfriend, I'm here now with my beloved Krishna in this Kurukshetra. It is very nice, but still I want to see that my Krishna back in Vrindavan, you see, standing in the bank of Keshibat, playing the fifth note on his flute, you see. But actually, the gopis captured Krishna, but then actually he never really left. Dwarka Krishna Vrindavan Krishna never really left because the gopis had him captured in their hearts. You see. He never really left. He only appeared to leave Vrindavan. He never actually, only a Dwarka Krishna went away, but the Vrindavan. So that same Krishna that was captured in the heart of the gopis, he's still here right now if we capture him in our hearts by love, you see. So let's learn how to capture Krishna by our love, you see. So we have him here right now with us, standing here with a beautiful threefold form, Manomahar, so many names. He's actually present right here, right now. We read recently that Kunti was praying to Krishna. You know that sloka. She said, let those calamities come again and again, because when those calamities come, I'm seeing you. When I'm seeing you, I'm no longer seeing birth and death. So she, even though he wasn't physically there, she was praying to Krishna as if he was standing there in front of her. And Prabhupada explains that those who are following the footsteps of Kunti can also pray in the same way. So why don't we just pray to Krishna? Because he's actually here. We just can't see him due to our lust, anger, madness, illusion, and envy. But Krishna is actually here. We have to learn how to experience him within every thought, within every word, within every deed, in every situation. How can I experience Krishna? You see, that's the ultimate experience. There's nothing greater than experiencing Krishna. So this verse will help us understand how to experience Krishna. You see? From one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me. So we can't see him right now. We know he's present. So how do we, Prabhupada give that nice verse? Premanjana charita bhakti velochanena santaksadeva hidayesha velokayanti yang shamusham niramachit yaganasvarupam govindamadipurusham tamahavajami. I worship Govinda, the Prime Name of Lord, who is Shama Sundar, Krishna himself, with inconceivable and numerous attributes whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion, tinged with the salve of love. So, where do you get that salve? I many times explain, what was Prabhupada doing before he started, when he was a businessman? Day's pharmacy, right? He had a pharmacy. He was giving out days liniment, you see. He even had a special thing for toothache. He invented a very special cure for toothache. So, but now he's still giving out, instead of days limit, it's Bhaktivedanta liniment. He's giving out the ointment of love of God. Instead of putting it in the eyes, it's through the ears, you see. This ointment is mystical ointment. It's called Krishna Kata. Machchita Magata Prana Bodhayandak Paraspatam Katayantashthamantitam Tashyanti Ramanticha. This special ointment goes to the ears. The more you hear about Krishna, the more you can experience Krishna. And gradually you can see him. Gradually you'll be able to see Krishna directly. That is coming when we become absolutely pure. We can see, like we're seeing each other right now. I'm seeing you, you're seeing me. We can actually see Krishna. Pretty ecstatic, isn't it? Pretty exciting, isn't it? Being able to see Krishna face to face, eye to eye. Well, he's there waiting. He's already standing there, but we can't see him because our eyes are covered by lust, anger, badness, illusion. We're blind right now due to our material consciousness. So we have to become free from that material consciousness. We have to learn how to see Krishna everywhere. To sees me everywhere and sees everything in me. What does that mean, to see everything in Krishna? Well, everything that's happening is within his energy. Nothing happens outside of Krishna's energy. I may have some nice experience or even some unpleasant experience, isn't it? But actually it's all happening within Krishna. It's all ultimately Krishna's plan to bring us step by step back to him. So, should never be disturbed, actually. There's dida and adida. The adira is always disturbed, is always agitated. Do I have it backwards? Dira, adira. Do I have it backwards? Dira and adira. Adira is the one who's agitated, right? And dira is the one who's always sober. So to become dida, you see, always sober-minded, seeing everything in Krishna. Nothing happens outside of Krishna's plan, and Krishna is working step by step to bring us closer and closer and closer to him because he wants that loving relationship with us. I'm never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. That's a pretty ecstatic concept. We never lose Krishna, he never loses us. He's never lost to us, and we never lose him. So right now we're losers because we've lost Krishna due to our desire to enjoy separately from Krishna. Therefore we've lost him. We're like lost children running in the forest. Some kid ran away from home and he got lost. And he's wondering, but I don't have a smartphone, what am I going to do? I'm lost. I ran away from home and I'm lost here in some strange neighborhood. What to do? Oh, no, I don't have my smartphone with me. And what to do? We're like children who ran away from home and then we got lost in some weird neighborhood. What am I going to do? Oh, Krishna. So, instead of being lost, we have to... ISKCON is like the lost and found. It's transcendental lost and found because Prabhupada has found us. He's a representative of Krishna. He's found us. Here's these souls, they got lost, they're wandering away, they don't know what they're doing, they're caught up in these 8,400,000 species, completely bewildered and lost. But now, Prabhupada has found us, you see. And Prabhupada's representatives have found us. Like I met different devotees, Makkan Lal Das, he was the first one that grabbed a hold of me. And then it was Vishnujan Swami. So these persons found me and they tried to bring me back to Krishna. I was a little stubborn in the beginning, but gradually, step by step, I was able to come back, you see. So the devotees find us, and they try to bring us back to Krishna. They try again and again and again, and those who are fortunate, we finally give in and say, okay, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this process is very powerful. There's so many nice points here. Let's see if we can see a little more here. Such a person may appear to see all separate manifestations of the material nature, but each and every entity is conscious of Krishna. No, everything is a manifestation of Krishna's energy. Well, how do we become aware of that? Everything is a manifestation of Krishna's energy. It's like we were flying the other day from Calcutta to Delhi, and Guru Maharaj pointed it out to me. The Himalayan mountains were out there, you see. And Krishna says of mountains, I'm the Himalayas, you see. So we can actually look at the Himalayas and like seeing Krishna. Oh wow, there they are, the Himalayas out there. I actually got one picture finally, posted on Thought for my e-zine, Thought for the Day. I got many bad pictures, but one that actually came through clearly. You could actually see them out there, the snow-peaked mountains out there, the Himalayas standing, the tallest mountains in the world, manifestations of Krishna. So Krishna gives us so many ways in the Bhagavad-Gita to see Him, to see everything here in the world. I'm the taste of water, I am the light of the sun and the moon, I'm the syllable Om and the Vedic mantras of purifiers, I am the wind. It's like we had that yoga today, and the wind kept blowing the fire this way and that way. The wind was blowing like crazy, but that Krishna said, purifiers, I am the wind. So that wind is actually Krishna, you see. So we have to learn how to experience Krishna. Even in so many ways, Krishna, we can see Krishna. I'm the ability in man, you see. Just like somebody's very good at playing madanga, boom, ba boom, boom, ba boom. That ability is Krishna, you see. Or somebody can give an attractive class, that ability is Krishna. So we have to learn how Krishna gives us so many ways to see His presence, you see. And we have to take advantage of them by studying the Gita and seeing how Krishna is present in this way and that way. So then Prabhupada continues, nothing can exist without Krishna. That's a very interesting statement. The atheists won't accept that. They say everything comes out of nothing, they said. Everything comes out of nothing. You Hare Krishnas are just blind fools. Everything comes out of nothing. Don't you realize everything comes out of nothing? But let's look at it scientifically. Can you show me anything that comes out of nothing? Show me one thing that came out of nothing. Can you give me one thing that comes out of nothing? This microphone came out of nothing, or this flower. Can you show me one thing that came out of nothing? But you have to believe that everything came out of nothing. You see? Just see how ridiculous their philosophy is. It's not scientific, it's not logical, it's just blind faith. Everything came out of nothing. Voidism, you see. But we can see everything comes out of something, which came out of something, which came out of something. If you trace the line of causality back far enough, you'll come to Krishna. You see, well, some say, well, there's an endless chain of causality. There's no original cause, it just goes on infinitely. But there has to be some link in the chain that can start the whole thing moving. Even there's an infinite chain, unless some point in the chain, it's called the unmoved mover in philosophy. Everything is moved by something, was moved by something, but there has to be an unmoved mover to set the whole thing in motion, you see. Otherwise nothing moves. There has to be an unmoved mover, otherwise nothing happens, you see. So we can philosophically, scientifically begin to analyze that this philosophy makes good sense. It's not some blind faith dogma, trying to shove it down your throat. Okay, you have to believe you're going to hell. No, we want you to use your intelligence and understand why this Vedic knowledge is absolute truth. Not blindly, but logically, philosophically. That's why we have these classes. We want you to be able to see logically and philosophically, scientifically, why this knowledge has to be true, why it is true. So now we're going, nothing can exist without Krishna. Krishna consciousness is the development of love of Krishna. So that's an interesting statement. Why does Prabhupada say the development of love of Krishna? Why doesn't he just say Krishna consciousness is the love of Krishna? Well, I can tell you why. In the beginning, we don't really love Krishna yet, you see. But we're here to develop love of Krishna. Love of Krishna is already there, but it's not manifest. So Krishna consciousness in the perfectional stage is love of Krishna, but in the neophyte stage, it's not developed yet, you see. Like a kid knows how to walk in his heart, but he hasn't developed it yet. So that's why it's the development of love of God. Position transcendental even to material liberation. It's like the jnanis, they want liberation, moksha, merging into the oneness, you see. But even the neophyte starting to awaken Krishna consciousness by hearing, by chanting, by remembering, his position is already transcendental to the jnanis, you see, who enter into Brahman. It's already transcendental because of Kṛṣṇa pradang putam pita, they fall back again. They may temporarily get out of the mode, but bloop, they fall back once again, you see. But a devotee is situated even beyond the jnanis who attain moksha, you see. So very, very wonderful statements here. At the stage of Krishna consciousness beyond self-realization. Why does Prabhupada say beyond self-realization? You see? Isn't Krishna consciousness self-realization? What does he mean beyond self-realization? Well, self-realization can mean different things according to the context. Perfection of self-realization, Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam, is to understand the eternal servant of Krishna. But to understand aham brahmasmi, that's also considered self-realization. So the jnanis have self-realization in an elementary stage. So when we say Krishna consciousness is beyond self-realization, he's talking about those who realize I'm a spirit but don't realize I'm the servant of Krishna, you see. That's why Prabhupada says beyond self-realization here. He becomes one with Krishna. Oh really? I'm going to be one with Krishna? Well, we're one in spirit, you see. Just like we don't actually become Krishna himself, but it means we're in perfect harmony with Krishna, you see. Understand? We're one in the sense, just like in a musical chord, the notes, they're different notes, but they vibrate together in a very beautiful way, a musical chord, you see. So they're one in that they're vibrating together very beautifully. So when we actually become one with Krishna, in the sense we're vibrating with Krishna very beautifully and wonderfully, the whole relationship becomes deeper and deeper and more beautiful as it goes deeper, as it expands more and more and more. You see. So that one with Krishna in that sense. And becomes everything with Krishna, the devotee becomes full and loving Krishna. Why does it say full and loving Krishna? You see, why full? Why does Prabhupada say full and loving Krishna? Well, if you have just like a glass of water, whenever it's full. You can have a half full or partially full, but full means completely filled up all the way to the brim. You see. So fully in loving Krishna means there's no more traces of lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion, and envy. Completely full in loving Krishna. You see, that's in the beginning. It's just a little bit. We're not full. We're loving Krishna a little bit, but we're not full in loving Krishna. But gradually you progress. You become fuller and fuller and fuller. You become completely full, and you're called full in loving Krishna. An intimate relation between the devotee and the Lord then exists in that stage. So that those relationships are already where it's called Swarup Siddhi. There's 5 different kinds of relationships: Shanta Ras, Dasya Ras, Sakya Ras, Vatsalya, Madhurya Ras, Vatsalya Ras. There's 5 different kinds of relationships. So one has a constitutional position in one of these 5 relationships by nature. So that's when you come back to your complete realization of your transcendental relationship with Krishna, then it's called intimate. The intimate relationship with Krishna. And this is actually described here. This verse actually describes an intimate relationship with Krishna. Krishna is everything for you, and nothing exists outside of your relationship with Krishna. There's nothing beyond him. Every thought is for Krishna, every word is for Krishna, every deed is for Krishna. There's nothing outside of Krishna's service. That's called an intimate relationship. You see. I'm fully dedicated to Krishna with no tinge of any separate desires. It's all completely immersed in serving the Lord. That's called intimate. You see. And at that point, the Supreme Personality is never out of the sight of the devotee. Can you imagine being able to see Krishna 24 hours a day? Even in your dreams, you dream about Krishna. You wake up, you can see Krishna standing there. Even when you go to brush your teeth, you're constantly seeing Krishna in every situation, you see. Every situation. Just imagine what that would be like. Something to aspire for. I know I'm not there yet. Sometimes I think, well, you're a guru, you must be seeing Krishna at every minute, but I'm also a struggling sadhaka. I'm just trying to give you purely what Prabhupada has given me, that's all. I don't claim to be seeing Krishna at every minute because I have disciples and they worship me as God's representative. I don't claim to be seeing Krishna at every minute. That would be a lie. I claim to be purely giving you what Prabhupada has given me. That's my claim. You see? Let's see. And then Prabhupada annihilates the Mayavadi conception. To merge in Krishna is spiritual annihilation. The devotee never takes such risk. You see? We have no interest in this merging business. You see? We want to remain separate. If the devotee becomes one with Krishna, there's no loving relationship. You see, Prabhupada's love means two, Krishna and you. If we merge, there's no loving relationship anymore. You think Krishna wants to live in a world without love? Krishna wants loving relationship. That's why we're external energy. What is the word? Expanded. Yeah, expanded energy. That's right. And we're not. Right now, we're in the external. There's the internal and external. We're his expanded energy. We can be internal or external depending on our consciousness. So Krishna wants us to be separate so he can have a loving relationship with us. If we're completely one with Krishna, there's no loving relationship. At this stage, Lord Kṛṣṇa never disappears from the sight of the devotee, nor does the devotee ever lose sight of the Lord. What does this mean? Lord Kṛṣṇa never appears from the sight. That means you're always seeing him. Nor does the devotee ever lose sight of the Lord. So there are actually two ways of saying the same thing. In the case of a yogi who sees the Lord in the heart as Paramatma. Now Prabhupada is saying here the yogi can also become a devotee. You see. If a yogi who comes to the point of experiencing Krishna directly within the heart of the Paramatma, he doesn't become overwhelmed or distracted by developing the different yogic cities. Lighter than the lightest, you know. Tapti city, he can bring a pomegranate from Kabul and you can grab it just like picking off the tree in the backyard. You see. So if the yogi is not he develops all these different cities. If he's not overwhelmed by them, he's not really interested in them. He's simply interested in that relationship with Paramatma. Then he'll become a devotee also. You see. So we have a few minutes left. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
Kindly accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. I wanted to ask Maharaj, means how have you become that much determined in Krishna consciousness? Because
how have
you become that much determined?
Well, I'm still working on it. I'm not fully determined yet, but I can tell you that we actually wanted to please Prabhupada because that's how we got a special blessing to be here in Prabhupada's time when he was physically present. I was just talking with my godbrother Dinabandhu earlier this afternoon about this. We accepted all these things in rising early in the morning, no illicit sex, no meeting, no intoxication, no gambling, chanting. We wanted to please Prabhupada because Prabhupada gave us so much love, like nobody ever loved us ever before, you see. We wanted to reciprocate his love by pleasing him. That's still going on, you know, because we know we want to please Prabhupada. It all boils down to pleasing Prabhupada. I want to make Prabhupada happy. And Prabhupada actually said, his Guru Maharaj he told us in Atlanta, my Guru Maharaj is seeing me. So, I know that Prabhupada is somehow seeing me right now. He can see what I'm going through, see what I'm feeling, see my ups and downs. You see, I know Prabhupada is seeing me, so I want to please him, you see. It's, you know, I'm trying to reciprocate his love, you see. I know his love for me is unlimited. I can see by the way he dealt with me, he has unlimited love for me, and I want to try to reciprocate. I'm just a little little pipsqueak, Prabhupada said to his spiritual master, save me, I'm a fallen. So I'm also in that position. I'm a very fallen soul just begging Prabhupada to save me. I make so many mistakes. I'm so stupid. I lose my temper. I get so many problems. So I'm begging Prabhupada to save me. You see. But actually, I want to please him. I want that every thought, every word, every deed in all situations will please Prabhupada. So I make so many mistakes. I have to go, just like today, I went to the temple room during the 24-hour kirtan. I went to the samadhi and just fell down at his feet and begged him that I could become free from all these contaminations in my heart. So the whole whatever advancement I make is all due to Prabhupada's mercy. It's all due to his blessings. It's by his mercy. Whatever determination, enthusiasm, or patience I have, whatever good qualities I may have, it's simply his mercy upon this fallen soul. It's all Prabhupada's blessings, you see. It's all completely due to his blessings. I personally have no good qualities at all. I'm a rascal, number one, full of all kinds of demoniac qualities. But Prabhupada's mercy is, some say, your mercy is some line, your mercy is all that I'm made of. It's all Prabhupada's mercy. I claim nothing for myself. It's all Prabhupada's blessings, that's all. Whatever you see good in me, it's just Prabhupada's blessings, that's all. But I'm Rakshasa number one. I mean, really, I'm a sarvam, I simply have the quality of a demon. But it's all, whatever good I have is all the mercy of Prabhupada, simply his blessings. Prabhupada's the puppeteer and I'm the puppet, you see. So it's all his mercy, whatever I have good in me. And just begging him to please. He told me in one letter, he said, now you must become all material desires zero. So I'm working on it and begging his mercy. I can become free from all my lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion, and envy. But so it's very simple, Prabhupada's mercy. All his blessing, you see. Any other questions? Yes.
So there are lots of ups and downs in life.
Oh yeah, every day. Practically every minute.
So how do we see?
How?
How do we see Krishna's hand in this? Like we have to see Krishna. So how do we see?
Yeah, it's called the dangerous ocean of Kali. We're on the ship and it's very dangerous. It can actually capsize the boat and we can drown. And really heavy waves. So we have to, how do you deal with this and not become overwhelmed by it? Many devotees do become overwhelmed. They end up leaving the movement. They become, some stay and they also go through all kinds of difficulties. So how to remain steady in spite of all the difficulties? Well, this verse will help us. See, every difficulty is a special. Actually, Kunti Devi was praising for difficulties. I quoted that verse. Viprasam titasya tat 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 jagat guru prabhadam dashaman. She was praying for difficulties. She went through so many. She and her son went so many difficulties. Even a man-eating demon what was her name? Hidimba was trying to eat Bhishma. There was so many horrible things. They were in a palace and it was set on fire. So many calamities they went through, calamity after calamity after calamity. But in every case, Krishna saved her. So she was saying, but then all the calamities were gone and now Krishna went to Dwarka. She was saying, it's better to have more calamities because I can see you're present with me again. So actually, these difficulties are a blessing. Instead of being bewildered by difficulties, see, this is a blessing. I got hit with a real difficulty today, a real heavy difficulty. This is Krishna's special mercy to help me take shelter of him. So in this way, the devotee actually feels calamities and are a great blessing. Instead of becoming depressed or anxiety about it, see it as a great, great blessing upon me to have this great, very, very difficult situation, you see. Just like today, I went through a very, very difficult situation, but I'm seeing it as a great blessing upon me. A great blessing to help me intensify taking shelter of Krishna. So see them as blessings. That's the easy way. Don't be overwhelmed by them. Be thankful. Thank you, Krishna, for giving me this difficulty. This is a great kindness upon me. Thank you very much, my beloved. It's easy to say that, but when it happens, it's very difficult. I can say that very easily sitting here with a microphone But when it actually happens, it's like, Krishna. Yes. So we have to practice and train ourselves, not become depressed when there's difficulties, but to see it as a great opportunity to intensify my taking shelter of Krishna. Anything else? Any ladies back there? Yes. You can be after her. Go ahead.
In connection to this question, so does that mean that even if I'm not liking it, but it's a continuous practice, and if I practice and practice, then I will naturally develop that attitude?
Yeah, it takes practice. It takes a lot of practice. Because, I've gone through some heavy, heavy things in my spiritual life. I mean, in these 53 years, I don't even want to tell you how bad it was, some of the things I've gone through in this movement. But I always knew I had to please Prabhupada in every situation. And that kept me going. So many devotees would just leave. They just left ISKCON because they had difficulties in the movement. But I saw, in every situation, I have to please my Prabhupada, you see. So that kept me going, wanting to please Prabhupada in every situation. It still keeps me going now today, 53 years later. I have to do what will please Prabhupada, you see. So that's really the key, how to please my spiritual master, you see. Because that will please please all the great acharyas, all the way up to the whole Brahma-saṁhitā. Try to always do what will please your spiritual master. That's the key. That's what I learned. That kept me going for 53 years, you see. Yes.
Please accept my humble obeisances. Maharaj, with regard to myself, when I am doing practice sadhana, then I am also contemplating on my devotional service. So, due to anarthas, a lot of material desires are coming in my mind. So, I am not able to completely surrender myself towards the shastras. So, sometimes I think that is it the influence of Maya or is it the influence of Kali? So, I am not able to understand that. Where am I taking?
I'm a little confused by your question. Raj Kishore, can you help me understand? He's my translator. He always helps me understand what's going on.
So his question, he's practicing and trying, and sometimes he feels some anarthas are coming and overflow.
Sometimes?
So,
Well, you're higher than me. I got them constantly.
So
I have to learn from you. He only has anarthas sometimes. I'm experiencing it every minute. I can learn. You be my guru, and I'll learn from you. I only have them sometimes.
So he's confused.
Huh?
Is it due to Maya's influence or Kali Yuga's influence that he's not able to handle?
Unable to handle it?
Like with the desires, material desires?
It's Kali Yuga is definitely the material energy, in full force. So if I'm not able to handle it, it's due to the influence of the material energy, for sure. If I become overwhelmed by lust, anger, greed, malice, allures, envy, it's the influence of the material energy. But we have to see behind the material energy is Krishna. That's what this verse is telling us. Behind the material energy there's Krishna, our ever well-wisher. So I have to look beyond the particular situation and see the loving hand of Krishna acting behind it in every situation. The good, the bad, the beautiful, and the ugly, Krishna's mercy is behind all of it. It's easy to say that, but if we remember that, we keep reminding ourselves, yato nishalati. We keep reminding ourselves, okay, my dear mind, don't become overwhelmed, don't become depressed, don't become bewildered. See, the loving hand of Krishna is just acting in this situation. We can train ourselves how to do that, and by constantly reminding ourselves of what Krishna says in the Bhagavad-Gita. And by practice, by training, gradually we'll master the art. It may take a few decades, even a few lifetimes to do it, but that's all right. Even if it takes me 100 lifetimes to get purified, I'm ready to do it, you see. So we have to be determined, no matter how long it may take, I'm determined to get to pure prema bhakti. And we just keep endeavoring, and if we have that determination, that day will come when we can see Krishna face to face, eye to eye, standing in front of us. Like I'm seeing you, I'll be able to see Krishna someday standing in front of me, smiling at me, playing his flute, the fifth note on his flute, which is really a cool note according to scriptures. You see, just like with some musician plays a note and go, wow, that's really a cool note they played, or a really fantastic chord they played, or there was a really ecstatic riff they played, on the harmonium or the guitar or whatever. But Krishna is playing the ultimate ecstatic music on the fifth note in his flute. There's nothing like that fifth note. So we have to hanker for that day when I can hear the fifth note in that flute. It's really super, super sweet. It's better than the fourth or the sixth. That fifth note is really amazing. You see. We hanker the day we can hear him play the fifth note on the flute. You see. Yes, anything else? We got 4 whole big minutes, yes.
Did Krishna leave Vrindavan and go to Dwarka in another body? Because there was something like...
Did he live in a different body? Is the Dwarka not different from Vrajanath? Is it the same Krishna and a different Krishna? It's the same Krishna and a different Krishna at the same time. It's the same Krishna. Narada Muni went to see that Krishna, you see, in Dwarka, that we read this morning. So it's the same Krishna and it's in a different ras. It's the same Krishna. Domesticated, married Krishna. There was a non-married Krishna and the married Krishna. Like Krishna with girlfriends and Krishna with wives. It's a little different. A girlfriend and a wife is a little different. So you had girlfriends in Vrindavan and wives in Dwarka. It's the same person in a different rasa. Anything else? Yes.
Regarding self-realization, it is mentioned here in the
Mm-hmm.
Purport. So, I want to understand that self-realization is a process towards Krishna consciousness.
Yes, and it's also the perfection. On the highest level, it's perfection of self-realization also. It's both things. There's self-realization in practice and self-realization in perfection. Has different meanings according to context. But the perfection of self-realization is Krishna consciousness. And there's also different levels of, gradual, there's partial self-realization, Brahman realization, and higher level Paramatma realization. But full self-realization is Krishna bhakti.
So for a practicing Krishna conscious devotee, one who enters, one who is beginner, so for them, they should know about Krishna first or they should know about themselves first?
It's better to think about Krishna at the very beginning. Because that gives you a head start. We could just teach you, okay, everyone, you're not your body. Everybody repeat, I'm not my body, I'm not my body. But no Krishna consciousness. How will they be attracted? I'm not my body, what am I? See? I'm not my body is negation. Okay, everybody, understand you're not your body, now go home, have a great evening. You see, it's just a negation and all it is. How much juice, how much nectar, how much, what you can taste in negation. I'm not the body. Or what am I? Well, that comes next year. We'll see what you are. You see, it's not very good. But if you say, I'm the eternal servant of Krishna, that puts you in a really good position. And then you automatically can learn along with it, I'm not the body. So it's better to teach them, this is the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, not the International Society where I'm not this body consciousness. You see? Krishna consciousness is the beginning. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Krishna is the beginning. As I was taught by Vishnujana, just give your love to Krishna. You see, you have a loving propensity, give it to Krishna. Try giving your love to Krishna and see what happens to your consciousness. You see? It's pretty ecstatic, actually, give your love to Krishna. Anything else? Yes.
Krishna consciousness is the beginning and it is also the process and it is all the end. Is there anything end in Krishna consciousness?
Is there anything what?
End in Krishna consciousness.
So, Krishna consciousness is the beginning, the practice, and
The end.
And the end.
It's the beginning and the end, both.
And what was the last part?
Is there
It's the beginning and the end, both.
this is the last to be achieved?
Is there
After which there is nothing.
Is this the last to achieve it, or is there something like above?
Are you kidding? It's only beyond Krishna consciousness. You sound kind of a nut.
How do we realize that we have achieved the end?
How to realize that we achieved the end?
When you get there, you'll know it. Don't worry about it. When you actually realize your eternal relationship with Krishna, think that the Hajjas want to imagine, but actually, how do you know when you're? How do I know when I've achieved the perfection? You don't have to worry about it. You'll know it. When you actually, even before prema in the asakti stage, the pure devotee can see the pastimes of Krishna within his heart. Even without the Krishna book, he can see everything, all the leelas he can see within his own heart. That's even prior to prema, in the asakti stage. So, if you haven't seen the pastimes of Krishna, you're not there yet. You can't see them all happening like the television within your heart. You can see Krishna in the Govardhan, how he's smiling, the peacocks or whatever. If you can't see those things happening in your heart, you've got a ways to go. So when you get there, you'll know it. You don't have to worry about it. Well, Gurudev, have I achieved perfection yet? If you're wondering, you haven't gotten it. If you're still wondering if you achieved it, you're not there. Yes. When you've achieved it, you'll know because your knowledge will be perfect. So there's no question of did I achieve it yet? That means you haven't achieved it. You're wondering, I haven't achieved it. Does that help a little bit? Yeah. Yeah.
Shlokadev, what is that? What one should do to make you happy? What is the thing which will make you the most happy? From a devotee side, what is it?
Actually, what makes me happy for my disciples if they do what pleases Prabhupada. Because that's my mood that I've learned in ISKCON is I'll do everything for Prabhupada's pleasure. What will please Prabhupada? So if you do what pleases Prabhupada, that'll please my disciples will please me if they do what pleases Prabhupada. A simple thing. There's nothing different. The same mood should be now as it was when Prabhupada was physically present. What will please Srila Prabhupada? What will make Prabhupada happy? What will make Prabhupada smile? You see, that's what you have to do. You want to please your spiritual master, do what pleases Prabhupada. Simple thing. So how do you know? Well, you can hear Prabhupada's disciples, you can read in his books, you can hear the lectures. It's all there. Even when Prabhupada was here, we hardly associated with him physically. I only saw him maybe, once, twice, 3 times, maybe only 4 times I ever saw him. In the number of years, maybe 4 times, maybe 4 or 5 times, and that was it. I was separated from him almost all the time, physically separated. But by hearing his teachings, by seeing the letters he wrote me, then I could know what Prabhupada will be pleased with. So we have to please our spiritual master, and so it wasn't difficult. I knew. Prabhupada also told me to work with the authorities, like local or temple president. He told me to work in cooperation with the temple president, be obedient to the temple president. So he didn't encourage me. He encouraged me to work within the society he created. Pleasing my temple president would please him. See that's how I was trained. Pleasing my local authority. You see, it's like you're working in the kitchen with the head cook. You have to please the head cook by cutting the vegetables the way he wants you to cut them, for example. Yes. So I learned to please my local authority because I knew that was please Prabhupada. Working cooperatively with the leaders that I had. You see. Anything else? Everybody's ready to head out. We're over time a little bit. Everybody, nothing else? Everybody's finished.
ask one more question.
All right. This is the last one.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you very much for giving me one more opportunity. Actually, in Bhagavatam, in second chapter, it has been mentioned that how from hearing a sadhaka develops pure prem, pure love of Godhead. So in that continuous 4 to 5 verses, means I am confused that firstly sadhaka achieves relationship with God, then he understands that he is a soul, or it is reversed like that.
These are help, Lord Kṛṣṇa.
So he's studying Bhagavatam, some chapters, and he's trying to understand, is it first Jiva understands...
Jiva in the relationship is from
Oh.
hearing.
So he understands his relationship with God first, or he first understands that he's a soul, and then comes the understanding about his relationship with God.
What does Prabhupada say in his books? What is it said in the books? Just follow whatever Prabhupada is saying. That's the easiest way. How to understand it, how Prabhupada's presenting it. Simple thing. It's like here, how does Prabhupada present it? Krishna conscious person sees Krishna everywhere. He's emphasizing Krishna consciousness in this purport. Sees everything in Krishna. There's no mention of being a soul or not the body in this purport at all. Nothing. It's all based on loving, being Krishna conscious, the whole purport. So there's different angles, different ways of approaching it. Whatever is Prabhupada saying in that particular purport, that should be your focus. Simple thing. Prabhupada is saying it in one way, in one purport, another way in a different part. Whatever you're reading, see it in that way. It's a simple thing. Whatever Prabhupada says, see it according to that particular purport in that particular verse. There's many different angles of vision. It's like a mountain you can see from so many different ways you can see the mountain. The point is to get to the top. So whatever Prabhupada is saying in that particular purport, that's how you should see Krishna. Ki Jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hey.